Hello there, I am making this video for the purpose of demonstrating that these fiber optic light engines that I received do not work as advertised. So the purpose of these lights is to insert fiber optic strings into them, which the light then passes through, and at the end of these fiber optic light strings, it emits the lights once again, and people usually use these for creating a starry night sky effect. So I will demonstrate, more specifically, I will demonstrate that the DMX function does not work on these fiber optic light engines. And even more specifically, they do work when they are, the DMX function does work when they are paired together in a master and slave configuration. However, it does not work when you try to control it over DMX using a third-party tool, and I will demonstrate this with 3 separate controller devices. So first, to demonstrate that the DMX function does work when they are paired together. So I have 2 of these fiber optic light engines. This one is controlled using RF, and it is controlled using RF because I set the address, or more specifically, I set the very last of these switches in the on state. So this will be the master, and it is controlled using the RF controller. Whereas this one, the address, all of them are turned off, which means this one will be the slave. And in yet other words, this one will then be controlled using DMX. So this one is controlled using RF. It sends then the same signal that it receives using RF. It sends to this one over DMX. You can see that this one is paired using DMX all the way to this one. Now if I turn on this one and then I change the color, you will see that both of them change accordingly. So in this master and slave configuration, it actually does work over DMX. However, it does not, the DMX function does not work when paired with a third-party controller. I will demonstrate this with the following controllers. First, I have a very generic controller that plugs in directly. Then I have a USB to DMX controller. And lastly, I also have a ArtNet controller. So this is a controller that functions over a network. It's a controller that takes a DMX signal over an Ethernet or over a connection, an Ethernet connection, and then translates that signal to a DMX signal. Now, to prove that all of these controllers actually do work, I have here a benchmark device, so to say. It is a simple DMX to RGB translator, so to say. And here is the cable that is connected to this controller. So first I will always demonstrate the controller paired with this benchmark device, and I will show you that it then does in fact work. And then I will hook up this fiber optic light engine to the same controller, and then I will show that does not in fact work. So let's first start with the very straightforward controller. And by the way, all of these devices are all set to the very first DMX address. So here, if I now slide this controller up, you see that it becomes red. Same if I slide up the second control, and the same with the third. Now if I unplug this cable from the master fiber optic light engine, I unplug the benchmark lights, and then I plug in this one into controller. It did turn blue, but now when I slide, it doesn't do anything whatsoever. So that's the first device, a very straightforward controller. Now for the second device, let's take the USB to DMX controller. So once again, I'm gonna hook this up to the benchmark device. I'm doing this with one hand, so it's a little bit tricky. So that is hooked up. So in the software over here, let me quickly check. So it's Universe 2. Let me quickly unplug this so you can see better. So if I now in the software, so once again, computer is hooked up to USB. The USB is, well, the signal is sent from USB to DMX, which then controls this light. I now set the first address all the way up. Well, actually now I'm gonna set the second address all the way up. You see it turns green. Same with red and same with blue. Now when I plug the fiber optic light engine into the controller, so you can see this is firmly plugged in. It does not do anything, even though I turn these switches all the way up. It doesn't actually do anything. And just for the sake of completeness, I'll also demonstrate it with the last controller. So this is the ArtsNet controller. It takes a signal over an Ethernet connection. I'm gonna hook this up. Just like that. I'll switch the software to Universe 1, which controls that controller. So turn it all the way up. It becomes red correspondingly. Same with green. Same with blue. And then once again, I will hook up the. Did I do it? Yeah. So I need to plug this one into this one, and this one into that one. Alright, so we have the controller, goes to this cable, and this cable is then directly attached to the fiber optic light engine. Once again, turn them all up and down, and it doesn't do anything. Well, the fiber optic light engine stays exactly the same, which is annoying, and it's not as advertised, because if I go to the manual, which I will quickly do, I'll take the manual, which I have over here. Here it clearly states that I should be able to control the fiber optic light engine using all kinds of DMX controllers, including very simple DMX controllers as well as USB to DMX controllers. And you do that then by setting the right address on the little switch panel, which I also did, and which I demonstrated by first showing that it was in fact set as a slave, because in the master and slave configuration it actually does work. It just doesn't work with third-party controllers. I hope that I have now provided definitive proof that these fiber optic light engines do not work as advertised. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very pleasant day. Bye!